David R. Guttery is an investment advisory representative of Emeritus Investment Corporation and president of Keystone Financial Group in Trussville, Alabama. Please stay tuned through the end of the video for additional important disclosure information.
Hello everyone, I'm Brannon Dawkins, and today I'm joined by David Guttery, who's president of Keystone Financial Group in Trussville, and today we're going to be talking about Section 529 college savings plans as a tool for paying for college. David, welcome. How do people make contributions to Section 529 college savings plans?
Sure. 529 plans were created under the Small Business Job Protection Act of 1996 for the purpose of allowing people a tax-advantaged way to save for higher educational expenses of a beneficiary. At a high level, the account is owned by one person and a successor owner is also named. Usually these are the parents of a child who is the beneficiary of the account. However, anyone can own a 529 plan for the benefit of a child, and anyone can make a contribution to the account for the beneficiary. Deposits into a 529 plan are considered gifts. Therefore, in 2019, any individual may make an annual gift of up to $15,000 per beneficiary. A donor may elect to contribute as much as $75,000 at one time and claim 5-year forward averaging treatment of the gift under the 2019 Internal Revenue Code. Maximum lifetime contribution limits vary by state, and in Alabama, that limit is $475,000.
David, you mentioned that these are tax advantage plans. What are the benefits? What are the tax advantages to using a Section 529 college savings plan?
Yes, some states incentivize their residents to invest within the plan of their state by offering tax deductions against state income tax liability. There is no deduction to be had against federal income tax liability when gifts are made into a 529 plan. Any investment growth compounds within such plans on a tax-deferred basis. When the beneficiary incurs qualified expenses for education, the tax-deferred gains are distributed on a tax-free basis from the plan.
Well, what happens when the student receives a scholarship? Can the 529 plan still be used to help support them in any way?
Yes. Normally, when money is distributed from a 529 plan, the tax-sheltered earnings and post-tax contributions are distributed proportionately. If such funds were distributed for anything other than qualified educational expenses, then a 10% penalty would apply to the tax-deferred portion of the distribution, along with a liability of income taxation. However, a distribution can be made from a 529 plan up to the amount of a tax-free scholarship without paying the 10% penalty.
David, can anyone make use of any state's 529 plan? And if so, how do you help guide your client and what's the best plan for them?
Yes, anyone may use the 529 plan of any state, regardless of residency. Now, in such cases, you wouldn't enjoy the resident state deductibility that may have been available with the home state plan, but that isn't the only factor to consider, though. I have many clients who have gravitated to out-of-state plans for reasons that were relevant to them. We examine the number of fund offerings, both actively and passively managed. We evaluate age-weighted glide path funds and quantifiable metrics from sources like Morningstar that gives us insight into the performance of the funds, the volatility of the funds, consistency of management, and expense. There are many factors to evaluate when gauging the efficacy of a 529 plan other than simply the in-state tax benefit.
And finally, what happens to any money that's unused in the account?
Great question. Such balances can be transferred into the plans of siblings, or the account can remain open and the beneficiary designation changed to another person. Sometimes parents consider keeping the account open until the original beneficiary has children of their own, and then they change the beneficiary to reflect the grandchild. Sometimes the original beneficiary goes back to school later in life to pursue a higher degree. I have even seen cases where the donor parent changed the beneficiary to reflect himself as he went back to culinary school later in life. Bottom line is that many options are open to account owners when surplus funds remain in a 529 account.
David, as always, this was really helpful information. Thanks so much for joining us again. And for additional information and how to get in contact with David, his contact information is listed on the following screen. For the Trussville Tribune, I'm Brannon Dawkins.
David R. Guttery independently offers securities and investment advisory services through Ameritas Investment Corporation, member FINRA and SIPC. AIC and Keystone Financial Group are not affiliated. Additional products and services may be available through David R. Guttery or Keystone Financial Group that are not offered through AIC. Some of the products and concepts discussed have their own cost and are subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. These costs and risk will be thoroughly discussed with you prior to any recommendation or solicitation. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. Information provided is gathered from sources believed to be reliable. However, we cannot guarantee their accuracy.